Um. So I watched
know,
I watched the long version, the one that's like 2 hours and 37 minutes.
Same here.
that's the one I
I
watched.
think that's the one I
And
watched
this
too.
movie still feels like it has enormous chunks of it missing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you could
The first
replace
one
enormous
is
chunks. You could replace enormous chunks of this movie with enormous chunks of a better movie.
well,
Oh,
so the middle hour, which is about how long that entire siege of that castle takes. That shit's great.
Mhm.
Chechikaro or whatever the fuck his name is from
Yeah.
them, like the cast, all the supporting, like I love to see.
Why
I'm
couldn't
not
they get
sure.
somebody
I'm
to
not
play
sure
Joan?
she's.
Mhm.
I'm not sure she's any good in this.
Who?
But like
No.
it's just like there's this the tone the
Her
tone swings in this
performance
movie
as
are so
Joan
wide.
reminded me of
Jim.
John Wayne playing Genghis Khan.
Yeah,
She was
Wow.
badly
Okay.
miscast.
yeah.
I would like to. I would
I
like
love
to.
her, but not in this.
Yeah,
I
Tad.
would like to take a diversion
Sure.
into how fucking snake bit this movie was.
Okay.
So, one, I agree with Chris. I love Mila Jovovich. I love her as an actress, and I love her as a singer.
She made a great record.
Yeah. Her marriage to Luc Besson's falling apart when they start making this movie.
True enough.
I'm
Yeah.
fairly certain that he cast her in this movie to try to save their marriage. Now,
And this is the thing he did right after Fifth Element.
yes,
Right.
Right.
The original plan for this movie was that Catherine Bigelow was going to direct this,
That's right.
Ooh.
and it was going
A
to
Zero Dark 30.
And-
The Hurt Locker.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he was going to be a financier for
Yeah.
it. But in the finance contract, he put in a clause that he had a say over casting. Sinead O'Connor was Bigelow's first choice.
Wow, that would have been
Joan
weird.
of Arc.
Whoa.
And
Intense.
Huh.
and when Luc Besson said, "No, we're casting my wife
Hmm.
in this movie," that ended up with the
Catherine Bigelow dropped out.
Well, she didn't. It depends on who you ask. It either she left or he left or whatever. One way or another, the relationship there fell apart. Bigelow had done 10 years worth of research planning to make this movie with, I can't remember who was going to write it, but a fairly well-known writer was going to write it.
Gore Vidal.
And
Ha!
and it fell apart. And then he proceeded on as director on the film, and it ends up with Karen Bigelow suing him for stealing her research, and then them settling out of court. So that's the beginning. That's where we start the production.
Right.
Is Besson's marriage is falling apart. The whole Catherine Bigelow thing happens. They have a last minute director change. So they go to make this movie in Czechoslovakia for $70 million.
Oh yeah, it's all there. You can see
Very
it on the screen.
Except for
Most
the
of which
heads
I think
getting
they spent on
chopped off.
costumes.
Those were nickel 98.
And within a week or two of filming starting, a stuntman dies in an accident.
Oh.
Yeah.
And,
So no, it's under ill star. This is a
and
yeah.
apparently Besson is so upset by this that he becomes essentially incommunicative and, quote, only showed up on set to yell at people. So this movie essentially does not have a director.
Right.
And
it shows.
Except that it still feels as goofy as all the other Luc Besson.
Yeah, it still has all the signature elements in it.
Yeah.
It's the thing about it. It's true.
Probably the
I would
same
say
assistant
yes, it
director.
is.
Hold on.
I'm building to something here.
Okay, go ahead. Finish building, but this actually, go ahead.
The reason I'm bringing all of this up is that I think Mila is horribly miscast in this film, and I think part of the reason that she's horribly miscast in this film is she has essentially no direction in a film where she is completely surrounded by supporting actors who don't need direction.
Right.
You have Malkovich and Hoffman and Castle and all of these people
Yeah.
who can essentially operate independently because they are such good actors. And she is so new as an actress at this point that
She's never been the lead in anything.
she needs a director holding her hand through this performance. And if he's basically not talking to anyone and their marriage is falling apart, she was doomed from the beginning. And I think
Yeah.
this film was doomed from the
Okay.
beginning.
Oh, okay. That's it. Okay. That's one theory. The other theory that I would come forth with is that her character, Joan of Arc, of a bumpkin basically, who has a vision from God and comes in there, was their character's designed to be overwhelmed by sophisticated the other actors. She is struggling against these people all the time, and we're transferring this to her. We're like,
But I don't think she's selling it well.
She's not,
No.
she's obviously not acting that well. No, but it's because she's actually kind of like in a constant state of trying to convince people that she's right,
Who she is and that she's right.
and who she is and what she's doing, and so that
But
comes
she's not
off.
even sure.
That comes
does-
off like her being not the greatest actress, but I think she did a fantastic job.
Scott's got a good point here that the situation mirrors Joan of Arc's situation.
Yes, it does.
Mila's situation is a mirror of Joan's situation.
I mean,
given everything that has just been said,
Mhm.
I want to say two things.
Go ahead.
This movie's pretty good. It's goofy, but I enjoyed it start to finish. And Mila's not bad. I mean, yeah, I see where it's a little
think she's
creaky. I think
very
she's
bad.
miscast. I think the whole thing of mixing people with English accents, French accents, and throwing a bunch of Americans
Boy,
in there
there's a lot of Americans in the French army.
I know.
is weird
Well,
and
what are you
a
gonna do?
little disorienting. But
Yeah.
if you just say, okay, I'm not going to worry about it,
Yeah.
and you just look at the
Which
performances,
is
I
what
think
Ridley does these
You see
days.
what there's some
Yeah.
Besson's trying to do here. The language and the accents don't matter.
right.
The thing is, with this scene here, this is a mirror of the scene from Leon, where she's up against the fake Dauphin on the throne, and she's just like the pain in her face that she realized I am being tested, and I just want people to understand what I want to do here. It's gorgeous acting, right there, naked in front of you. She's like,
This is why
the pain in her face is like really there, and it's
This
like
is why I'm saying that I don't think she's a bad actress. I
No.
think this is a bad performance because she was miscast in this movie, and then she didn't have somebody to handle her.
I think that's a good theory.
it's not. I'll take it as an approach, but I don't think that's what's going on here.
The middle, everything between. I mean, there's a smash cut basically from her drinking the blood of Christ. Then
Right.
there's a smash cut with no context to her in a cloak heading to the castle to go
Right.
meet the king. Like, wait, no indication that years have passed. Like nothing. But still,
No, they
everything from
sell that with all the guys in the court saying Joan's coming. Oh my God, we heard about this
I know,
girl.
but we've
Yeah.
leapt forward a number of years without anything.
Where did a fucking peasant girl learn to use a goddamn sword?
That's
God,
what- there is a
God
giant-
guided her hand.
There
That-
is
but we can try to-
Swords were the weapon of the nobility.
Yeah.
I
Poor
saw the
people
long
use
version, and I feel like there is a
bows.
missing hour between
There is-
drinking the blood of Christ and her showing up at the castle.
Tad, there's a long
It didn't bother
scene.
me, Chris.
There's a
It didn't
long
bother me.
scene in this film that talks about exactly what you said. How did she get a sword?
No,
And it's
not
like-
how did she get a sword?
No,
How
that's
did she
that
learn?
right there, right behind him.
How does she know how to use the sword?
Doesn't
That-
matter. The thing she's guided by God.
Oh.
Okay, I have a question.
Thing
When
is,
she's on
this film
trial,
is- go ahead.
when she's on trial, the question comes up: did she ever use it besides waving it around on her head? Did she actually kill anybody with it? And my question is: do you see her kill anybody with
You
it
see
in the
her
movie?
using it during the siege of the castle.
Yeah.
Did she kill
But
anybody
did
with
she
it?
kill anybody with it? I don't know.
You
Hitting
don't think
people
you
with
should
it.
kill them
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, Jim?
She cuts through the rope for the drawbridge.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's the
Right.
previous scene, but
Uh-huh.
yes, she
Yeah,
does that.
which does admittedly squish a few people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No. That's the other drawbridge.
That's the other
That's
drawbridge.
true. That was a good. That was pretty
That's
gross.
the
That's a different drawbridge.
But she cut that rope too.
Uh-huh.
Right?
That's
No,
good.
they hit it with the siege tower, which is one of my favorite scenes in this.
That
movie,
is pretty
by
cool.
the way.
It is. That was fun.
The
No,
entirety of that
My
She
battle
thought
favorite
about
are
scene
the
is-
trebuchet and the guy who owns
I
Yes,
love
the guy
the
who loves the
the entirety
trebuchet.
of the battle scene is
The
That was fun.
the trebuchet manager was so much fun. He was having
Too
a
far.
fun.
The ball's going through the hole and out the pole. Why are you standing in front of the hole, you moron?
Yeah,
It
don't
takes
stand
them
in front of the
4
hole.
times to realize they shouldn't
Do
stand
not
in front
stand in
of
front of
the
the
fucking
goddamn hole.
That is a shit defensive weapon when you've got a horde of people outside. You
Why
can
are
kill
you
one
standing
guy
in
with
front
that
of the
thing.
hole?
Yeah, they'll figure
I
it out
know.
instantly. Exactly. It's like, oh,
Somehow,
there's that hole.
despite the density of people in there, it only ever killed one person
guy.
at a
Right.
time.
Right.
Yeah, maybe
Like-
two if you're lucky.
So I love all the like the reveal on her like picking Malkovich out of the like all that shit.
Yeah, that was great.
The siege of the castle is great. At the point where she gets thrown under the bus and arrested, then it's suddenly like, oh, I get it. Like this movie came out after Braveheart, and instead of Mel Gibson getting drawn and quartered, we're going to burn her at the stake.
Mhm.
And
Well, I
I
mean,
feel like the
that also
last
happened
It
in
is the
real
one
life.
part that
Yeah,
we're-
actually, and this is
no, and
one
I
part
realize-
that's
I did,
true.
I did do the
No,
Google
actually, a
on the
lot of this
Wikipedia,
movie
like,
is
oh, I guess that's
historically
actually
accurate
she was
because
19
she stole
years
all of
old.
Catherine Bigelow's
You know,
homework.
Chris,
Yeah.
you put your finger on the point where I started really enjoying the movie because it began and I was just like, I don't know about this. And then when we got Faye Dunaway and John
Oh, God,
Malkovich
yeah.
and she comes in, I'm like, all of a sudden, like, there's stakes. Is she going to be able to pick out who the king is? And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
I
definitely
leaned forward and I was like,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is good.
Yeah. Also, but aside from this imaginary character here, every character in this film was a real person.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this film. Is again, it's a French film. This is a
She
sacred.
stole Catherine
This is
Bigelow's
kind of
homework.
This is kind of a
Yeah, yeah.
sacred story for the French people. The story of Joan of Arc. Their national saint. So he's
And
going to.
Hoffman's good though, but honestly, like Hoffman,
I loved Hoffman. He was great.
Hoffman's good. You know, you replace the fucking
Hoffman
guy
is
with the
a real
big blue
person.
eyes who was the Mandalorian or whatever the fuck. he's
Dustin
called.
Hoffman is a real person.
Oh, you mean the guy played Jeebus?
The Mondeshaw one or whatever the fuck. Like, no, like suddenly we got Mila and Hoffman, and like then there's you want to give a confession or whatever, like smash cut, being burned at the stake. Like
That's right.
Straight to
Yeah,
she's
that-
on fire.
That was
Like,
odd.
whoa! What did I
Much better job, mind you, than that.
Honestly,
Maps
I
of
was
the
like,
Stars
did I
that
just
had.
fall asleep for 5 seconds or 5 minutes or something? Did I,
No, it's
I hit the rewind button. Nope.
Nope.
No, you were wide awake and it still
No.
felt like you
and
slipped and missed
and,
something.
and the whole the sort of cognitive
roll.
dissonance of the American actors in it. It's like, okay, I could get with John Malkovich and I could get with Faye Dunaway, and I thought Hoffman was good, but nevertheless, when Sheila and I saw Dustin Hoffman on screen for the first time, we were just like,
What?
that's Dustin Hoffman. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, he can always play himself.
He's just so Dustin Hoffman. He's such
Yeah.
a guy from New
Dustin
York
Hoffman-
that
But-
it's
but-
really
but-
hard.
but-
Anytime you
hold
see
on,
Dustin
hold on.
Hoffman in anything.
Hold on. We
You
watched
immediately
Perfume
go,
like
"That's
literally a
Dustin
week ago.
Hoffman."
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was much yelling about
We
this.
watched Perfume literally a week ago.
Yep.
And
That's
I
what it is.
immediately
And
went,
he was
Hey,
fucking
that's Dustin
fantastic
Hoffman.
in that. He's fantastic.
not saying he
in that.
wasn't.
Yeah, but
He's
one
my
thing.
favorite part of that movie.
He
One
is the
thing
best
that-
part of the movie.
No, Chris pointed out
A
that this is just
perfume.
that Chris pointed out that the narration is very. The narrative is very truncated. You go from her being going trial to being burned at the stake, and also before getting captured. Boom, boom, boom. Right.
I felt like I was
hold
like
on. This is
all the Braveheart beats.
But this
were
is like
happening again.
it's a Braveheart beats, but it's also this is French mythology. This is their version of Gone with the Wind. They know what the history is of what's going on here. You don't have to, for a French audience, you don't have to show every little detail because everyone knows what happened to Joan of Arc.
Yeah, but they were making this in English for Americans.
True for everybody, actually, but their national audience.
Yeah, I don't know if that excuses that choppiness there.
I don't know.
'Cause
Maybe
I was definitely feeling it.
he was
Yeah.
bored. I have no idea. It's like
You think
maybe
it's a bad
It should've been
script,
a-
Jim? Is
Bad
that what you said?
script, no direction, bad actress.
Wow, there we go, Jim.
Okay.
I don't think the script is bad.
Other than
That's
that, how did you like to play?
I disagree.
No, but Jim, I would like you to have an extended corner on this because you're probably the most familiar of all of us with it.
Actually, yes, you know the history. Let's go, man. Go.
Not really.
No?
It's
I
not
know the
my
history.
my favorite
God
part
damn
of
it.
history.
Just because Jim is old doesn't mean he's the only person who knows history.
Yeah, he was
I
there.
actually know this.
Uh-huh. Oh, this okay. This is
Probably
weird.
got
Go
the-
with
Jim's probably got this armor in a closet
clearly called
somewhere.
him Brad.
Okay, maybe this is the clip. I'm not sure. Oh, what's your thoughts, Jim?
I thought I gave them.
He
I
just
thought
said
they
it.
should-
No, he just
I
blurted-
thought
Bad
No.
script.
So
No,
you're-
direction.
you're
Bad
here.
acting.
No, I think it's like
You're here.
a
This is like me trying to talk to Chip Chase about
And you know
thesis
what?
is you stated your opening goals. Now expand them.
Hold on.
All right.
I found Uncle Toby's recreation of the Siege of Namur in a cock and bull story to be more historically accurate than anything with La Pucelle in it.
Okay, there it is. See, how hard was that?
I'm
It was in fact quite soft.
the actual warfare. Yes, the actual combat in this movie is very, very much not historically accurate. Like, this is very much a 90s take on what this type of medieval siege warfare would have
Yeah.
been.
I thought the armor looked pretty good for the time. You know, so it was 500 years ago. That seemed like the right kind of stuff.
It's yeah, I mean the costume. I said earlier they spent $70 million on this movie, and most of it was on the costumes.
I bet.
Yeah.
Like
And a couple of actors.
and a couple of actors, yeah.
Huh.
The best actors in the movie.
Yeah. Well, they got what they paid for.
I think one of my favorite moments in the movie is when Castle saves her from the arrow.
Like
Yeah.
jumping in front
Oh,
of-
That was a
yeah.
hell of a
His arm.
scene.
And he's just like, like, it's just like
She's talking to him. No idea he's got an arrow sticking in him.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just like, move along.
He's like, okay.
That's
Okay.
good stuff. Well, I picked. I you know. Go ahead, Ted.
but like the in terms of like the narrative flow of the film, it's very historically accurate. In fact,
Yeah,
a
that's the
lot
thing.
of the scenes that you might think aren't are based on the recorded history of Joan of Arc, which is full of legendary development and all kinds of other weird stuff. But
Supernatural
based,
stuff and things like that.
based on what is said about her, including the scene where the Dauphin takes her into a private room and has this conversation with her where she says, "No, you will be the king."
Yeah.
Like if you do this for me, God will make you the king. Like that's a real thing apparently that happened.
Mhm.
He told his like assistant basically, and that was recorded.
Mhm.
So like
This. Go ahead.
it does have a lot of historical accuracy in terms of like the plot.
I think that's kind of why it feels kind of staccato because again, and this is Besson trying to take all the major parts of Joan of Arc's career and life and death, and show it to us in the important strokes
And be
yeah,
faithful to it.
and be faithful to it. So it actually comes out. You know, the movie. You ever seen the movie Gettysburg?
No.
It's about the Battle of Gettysburg, right? It's choppy.
wow.
It's choppy as shit, but because they're trying, the guy who made it was trying to actually show
It's
you
also
every
like
single
5
battle.
hours long.
It's
The
also
guy who
4.5 hours long.
The guy who made it is also a lost causer, and
Yes, he
that
is.
movie is
Yes,
full
he
of
is.
historical.
Oh no, no, that
inaccuracies.
no, it was in the end, the long run was no good. But they're trying
The
to show.
Antoon Shea video about Gettysburg is required watching
Yes.
because he's a historian of that time period who
Mhm.
just goes through that and is just like, no,
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 no.
no, no.
But the thing is,
What's
anything
better
it,
is Angels and
the sequel,
other
yes,
one.
that was actually better because it was like, oh yeah, that's about more
Or
about,
historical.
Because
about Chamberlain.
all the Civil War psychopaths were like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" Like,
Pretty much.
he couldn't go to his recreation group.
But,
for, like, a
nonetheless,
year.
that's why it felt bumpy. That's why this film feels bumpy because it's trying to like hit all the major points. And,
Yeah, and that's-
So
and-
this comes back to the point that if they had a better script, they would have been able to smooth some of that over with some exposition or something.
oh, Jim, do you ever see the silent version of this, the drier version?
like 40 years ago. Yeah.
Okay,
Hasn't been
I
that
think
long for me. I saw it probably
Wait, The Passion of Joan of Arc?
yeah,
6
that's the
years
one.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5 or
it's
6
mostly
years
about her
ago.
trial, but yeah.
It's
I think
terrific.
there's good ideas in this script because I think there's good scenes in this film, but
Yeah.
For sure.
they're held together with a very thin thread that I think frays in a lot of places.
Wow.
And also, it is somehow also still too long.
It is still too
Like,
long. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
usually disagree with everybody on this, but yes, it's too long.
Now it's
Like-
interesting because it's like everyone's coming at this in a different angle, and I like Tad's angle. The fact that this is kind of like we're not watching a movie; you're watching kind of like a failed deal,
right.
basically. And I'm arguing that this is weird because it's actually really really French, and we're not quite getting it. And everybody has a different approach to it, which is great, which is why this show exists.
And I'm kind of on the I'm surprised to find myself giving this a thumbs up. You know
Are
what I
we,
mean?
are we there yet?
And I
Right,
think
hold-
no, but that's what's coming from me
Okay.
when we get there, because I wouldn't be this generous towards it if I had seen it when it came out. I think I would have sort of scoffed at some of the. I mean, like the dream sequences, which feel like something out of Altered States.
Oh, yeah, there's some weird shit in there. Yeah.
It was
very Ken Russell-y, very Ken Russell-y.
I actually kind of like the visionary sequences.
I do too.
They're
without the-
gorgeous.
But I'm
they
looking at
hadn't
him with
had
the
white
perspective of
Jesus,
time.
It would have been better, but I know at
Without
this
what?
point in time they had white Jesus, and I wish they didn't have white Jesus. But I
Oh,
know
right.
that's
We had white French bug-eyed Jesus.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Blue-eyed-
that's
blue-eyed
every Bible
Jesus.
movie, pretty much.
Tons of
guys
blue-eyed
from
people
development
wandering around the
Believed in
Levant
white
back
French Jesus.
But I'm inclined because I'm looking at it with some distance because I know it's an older movie. I'm kind of just appreciating the goofiness of it and just going with it. And it's like, you know what, this was pretty entertaining. And
It's 2.5+ hours. There is a really good hour and 20 minutes. Everything
Yeah,
else,
and
maybe not so much.
and it needs another 40 minutes of connective tissue.
Yes. But
Well,
that would be really long.
it is both too
Well,
long
no, but
and
I'm
too
saying
short.
you could cut it down to that hour and 20-minute
Mhm.
of what it is, and then
Yeah.
build a scaffold around it,
Yeah.
and it would work better.
You know what's hilarious? This film came out was released in the United States with Columbia Pictures in 1999.
Yeah.
Day and Dating Go within 2 weeks. Isn't that funny? This is like the medieval Go, right? I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm being silly. I'm being silly, but
I was coming off of Fifth Element, Luc Besson
my
could do
head.
no wrong. And I saw the reviews for this thing. I'm like, oh god, I'm not going to go to this.
all right. Did you
So
see
I
this?
thought it later
two
on
things
video.
about two
So,
things about
so Chris didn't see it in the theater?
Nope.
I did.
Is this the first time for you, Chris?
No. I watched the short version. I don't know. In the early O's.
Okay.
I remembered almost nothing.
I saw it in the theater. It's,
So,
I had
it's
never
great
seen
in the theater, man.
two things about this. One, Roger Ebert gave this 2.5 stars,
Uh-huh.
and I think that is the most damning two and a
Gesundheit.
half stars I
Thank
can
you.
possibly imagine.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that
Cisco
is
gave
him.
it 1.
Uh-huh.
That's him basically going you tried. Like, and
That's
then the
kind of
other
where
thing-
I'm at.
and then the
Valiant
other
effort.
thing, and then the
Yeah.
other thing is,
Misfire.
again, last week when I saw that you picked this, I was like, oh, that's one of the only Luc Besson films I haven't seen.
Oh, wow.
Hang on. 20 minutes into the movie, I was like, fuck, I have seen this.
Oh,
Damn it.
Oh, I believe you.
Made a big impression, obviously.
damn. There's a couple of
believe
movies,
you.
and there's a couple of films in this show that had that same reactions. Like, I've never seen this before. Oh, shit, I have. That's
It
great.
happens.
All right.
That
Yeah.
almost never happens to
Yeah.
me. And
Jim?
the fact that it happened to me
Wait.
for this movie, combined with that Ebert review, I think this is the most damning 2.5 stars I can.
I think so. Jim, final thoughts? We're good.
I
Okay.
gave you my final thoughts.
Show of digits, man.
Fuck.
I didn't mind it a bit. I was very entertained. And, it's like I could spend the worst
You
two
know
and a half
what?
hours
I might-
looking at this beautiful
Oh,
visage.
actually-
I